Do you know the verb have? Well, you might do, but you might not know all the phrases that it makes up. And these are some really important phrases in English that are used all the time, very common, all of which I use all the time myself when I'm back home. So make sure that you follow the video, practice, and look at the pronunciation with me. Here we go. Okay, so number one is to have your head in the clouds, to have one's head in the clouds. So let's just quickly have a look at the pronunciation here. This is this eh sound, this bass sound, I say, really. And here we have this ow, this double vowel sound, ow, clouds. Okay, just make sure you remember these. So, to be unaware or unrealistic about something, to have your head in the clouds. Let's look at an example. He's always got his head in the clouds, dreaming about impossible things. Okay, you also, on each of these slides, we've also got the French there for you, so you can always have a look at it in your own language as well. So, this is what I want you to have a look at, what it means, and think about how you could possibly use this phrase. There's going to be more. Okay, so the second one, I'm going to have a go at saying it in French. Je pense qu'elle a un compte à régler avec lui après le dernier dispute. Okay, so this is when we're looking at having an axe to grind. To have an axe to grind with this ah sound and this ai sound is to have personal, strong opinions about something, usually a motive or opinion, and you want to talk about it. Maybe it's negative, and it's more something you want to get off your chest. It's something you want to talk about. So I think she has an axe to grind with him after their last argument. Okay, so this personal opinion that you need to express, you know? And we usually use it when we're talking about somebody else. We don't usually say, I have an axe to grind. You can, but it's not always typical. It's usually about somebody else. He has, or she has, or they have. Okay, so number three, and don't worry, I'm not going to try and speak French again. We have a bone to pick. Now, have a bone to pick is something I've heard so many times in my life. My family use it all the time. I've heard people using it all the time. So to have an issue that you want to discuss or a problem to confront, you will say something like, I have a bone to pick with you. So Mike, I have a bone to pick with you about yesterday's meeting. All right, so it means I have something I need to confront you about. So number four, and this one we need to have a look at the pronunciation because there's a couple of things that are similar but actually spelt very different. And this is something that happens in English a lot. So have a ball in one's court. So the ball is in your court, we might say. And just be aware that this word ball has this or sound, and court also has this or sound. And they're completely different spellings, as you can see. Typically in English this happens a lot. So let's look at an example of it. Now that I've made my offer, the ball is in your court. It means it's your turn to make a decision or to take action. It's like, I can't do any more now, it's your turn, it's your decision. It's thinking about, we're talking about this game thing, you know? Okay, number five, another really useful and important phrase, to have a knack for something. He has a knack for something. To have a natural skill or talent for something. And this is this very short ah sound, a knack. Okay? She has a knack for languages and can speak 5 fluently. She has a knack for languages and can speak 5 fluently. You can also go back and have a look at the other slides. We've got this, the slides are available on the i over there. If you're on mobile, it'll be down under the video. And just go through them again and look at the way they're pronounced and try and think about which situations that you've been in the last few days or the last few weeks that you could have used one of these. It's a great way to learn when you can link it to something that you know or you've done. Number 6, to have one's finger on the pulse. Now, just be aware of how I'm saying these words, because this word, finger, we have this schwa sound, which is this, which is the sound, the very small sound. Now, this word, as with most words, or all words in English that have more than one syllable, there is a place in the word where you must stress. And here we have the stress at the beginning, so it's finger, finger, okay? Now, this is this sound, this up. I always say that if it's this sound, it's pointing up, so it's the same word, same sound as up, up. So pulse, to be aware of the latest trends and developments. So he has As a fashion designer, she always has her finger on the pulse of upcoming styles. Okay, you can also see what that looks like in French there as well. Now, this is a very important phrase and it's used quite a lot, especially in news reports, and it's typically a British English thing, but you'll hear it now kind of internationally because people have picked up on these different phrases. Just remember that also, we were talking on the last slide about your ability to look at the slides, but there's also a quiz you can do there. That's also on the eye and under the video if you're on mobile. So take that quiz at the end of the video and just see what you've picked up, what you've learnt. Okay, number 7, to have a whale of a time. Now, this phrase is something A. Just remember A for the pronunciation. This phrase is something that I've heard many times in my life. It's something that my mum used all the time to talk about people having an extremely good time. Oh, the kids had a whale of a time at the park, this kind of thing. But actually, as a Brit and as a child, this phrase, I didn't understand the difference of words. For me, it was just a whole sound, whale of a time. And you see, the thing is, now I look at it in words, it actually seems to me quite strange to see it as a sentence because it's such a common phrase. So what I want you to try and do when you speak it and when you say it is to try and make it flow, whale of a time. So it kind of feels like one thing rather than a series of words. And then you've really nailed the way that we use this phrase. Okay, number 8. Now I promised I wouldn't do this, but it rhymes, so I've got to do it. Avec les chances qui approchent, elle a du pain sur la planche. You see? Okay, so this means that one has got one's work cut out. So what does it actually mean to have your work cut out? It means to have a difficult task ahead. So, for example, with the deadline approaching, she has her work cut out for her. Or she really has her work cut out. And it means she's got a lot to do in the future. Okay, and I promise I won't say anything else in French this video. Okay, number 9 is to have the last laugh. Okay, now this is a funny word to pronounce because last will always be this R sound. And laugh is the same, this R sound, but you can see we have this GH here and that creates the F sound. I mean, there's many words that use this, so it's not completely strange, but it's just something you need to remember. So the last laugh. Now, you might hear somebody from the north of England, for example, saying these words in a different way. They might say the last laugh because they're from the north of England and they have a different accent. But general English, what is supposed to be correct English, we use this R sound, the last laugh, just to let you know. So you know if you hear it differently, you know why. So to ultimately be the successful person, the one that wins in the end, ultimately succeed or be vindicated after initial difficulties or mockery. So I'll have the last laugh, meaning I'll be the one that doesn't make myself look silly in the end, right? So they laughed at his idea, but he had the last laugh when it became a success. So you can see exactly how this works in this phrase here. And then you have your French there, which I'm not going to try. Okay, so number 10 is to have a change of heart. Okay, like the French cours. Okay, so change of heart, but it's not quite the same meaning maybe. This means if you change your opinions or feelings about something, you just change your mind. Also, we can also say to change your mind. So he was against the idea at first, but he's had a change of heart, meaning that he's changed his mind, basically. It's a kinder, nicer, softer, more romantic way to say he changed his mind. Okay, number 11, to have itchy feet. So what does that actually mean? It means, well, to have a strong desire to travel or move or change your plans. All right? So after a year in the same city, I'm starting to get itchy feet. And if you think about it, if your feet itch, you can't stand still. That's basically what it means. Let's just have a quick look at the pronunciation. So itchy, itchy, itchy. We've got it and then ch-e, okay? Itchy. Remember that this is something you need to practice. Itchy, itchy, itchy. It's actually very easy. Itchy feet, and this is the E sound. So something's not working with my pen. There you go, itchy feet, E, this longer E sound. And of course, this is where the stress is on that word at the beginning, itchy. Not itchy, itchy. Okay, itchy feet with a short I here. Okay, there's the French if you want to practice. Okay, number 12, to have a field day. Now, this is a strange one because it's something that you hear all the time in the UK. I've heard it all my life nearly, and most of my life I had no idea what it means, and I probably still don't really know what it means. I just know that that means to enjoy yourself immensely or take advantage of a situation. I know what it means and in what situation, but individually, I don't know where these phrases come from or why we use it in this situation. It's not something that British people really know why they say it, they just use it. So the kids had a field day at the water park. It means they really enjoyed it. For example, my son loves Lego. If I said, I'll give him a huge box of Lego and he will have a field day with it. It's just, I guess it's something to do with people who are interested in a scientific thing, who go on a field day or a field trip where they take the science outside and they really enjoy it because they're into it. I don't know. I don't quite know how it works, but I know that that is what it means. All right, so practice it. Think of a time or a situation where you can apply it. Maybe you can also have a practice with this phrase yourself. Okay, number 13 is to have your back against the wall. And it kind of means to be in a difficult or desperate situation. So it's something that you can maybe relate to if you've been in a situation where you have pressure or you have a deadline to meet or something. For example, with a deadline approaching, he felt he had his back to the wall or back against the wall. Now actually I misspoke it because I'm very used to hearing this back against. So we can also put here, you can put against. Like that, instead of the to. So back against the wall, back to the wall. It depends how you've heard it. It depends where in the country or in the world, the English-speaking world, you come from. So here it is. It's very similar in French, as you can see. So you can kind of get a feel for exactly what it means. Okay, number 14. I'm going to have a go at trying to speak French again. So je ne peux pas m'engager. M'engager dans un autre projet en ce moment. J'ai déjà beaucoup à faire. That was quite difficult for me. I really understand how people speaking a different language feel. So, to have a lot on your plate or to have your plate full, it kind of means that you have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of tasks to do at the moment. So I can't commit to another project right now. I have my plate full, or I have a lot on my plate. So you can say I have, and then instead of this, you can say a lot on my plate. Okay, so there are two different ways of saying it. There are two ways that I've heard it said, and I use it. So both of these are acceptable and both are correct. But it's something that you can use quite easily, especially if you're busy. Okay, number 15. To have a ball, okay? It doesn't just mean that you own a ball, it means something else. To have an extremely enjoyable time, probably from the parties, the balls, because another word for party is ball, okay? A very nice and high-level party. So they had a ball at the music festival last weekend. And so yeah, it means to have a really, really great time. It was a great party, I had a ball. Okay, number 16, and the last one on our list, to have the time of one's life. I had the time of my life. And it basically means to experience an extremely enjoyable and memorable moment. Okay, so looking at the example, they had the time of their lives on their honeymoon in Hawaii. Okay, so it just means that somebody had a great time. You can also see this in French too, which I'm not going to try and speak now. That's it for today. Okay, so look at this time, this I sound as well, and life. We have the same I sound. And as you can see, the I here, or the I here, actually is the one that creates the same. So spelling-wise, they're very similar, because they both have the E and the I. And the E makes the I, rather than I. That's something you need to know sometimes. Maybe it's always important. Young people in the UK work this out very young, but it's when you start to learn English, it's a good trick to know. Okay, so remember that you can find a level test if you go to this video here that's come up on the screen now. You can take the level test, you can find out what your level is. It's a great trick and it's a great thing you can do to just find out where you are, and you can do it over and over and over again. Each time you watch a couple of videos and then have a level test again. Watch a couple of things on TV or listen to podcasts and have a level test again and see how things are going. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be back very soon. See you later.